Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Randy here with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you an absolutely fantastic video here from El Paso, Texas, before I depart for the day. First of all, I have a Friday shirt on. Happy Friday to you folks. We are talking today about Celeborn. We are discussing the fact that Celeborn, absolutely, hands down, is not a super strong commander unless you have March Wardens, okay? Unfortunately, I've done extensive testing with him over the past 2 weeks. You guys saw a video 2 weeks ago, and now we have a video today. Gear-wise, we're using pretty close to maxed out gear here, right? About as good as it gets. My units have +9 damage to my Sentinels, and I'm running very Sentinel heavy for my build, okay? Sentinels are going to be higher damage output than the Bow Knights per command, okay? About 30-40% higher damage output. So the problem is I'm using optimal troops. I'm using the Great Beasts. The Great Beasts have a taunt. They also have this Wild Yell ability that gives my units +20% damage output. And unfortunately, even with all of these bonuses and a Respect level 10 Celeborn, I was not able to come away with the victory against a free-to-play Dwalin, okay? He did okay. I mean, Celeborn did better than the Tier 1 Dwalin for sure, but at the same time, Dwalin's build was not really damage focused. It was unit focused. So this did not really provide for the usual, 100k to 150k damage output that Dwalin can usually provide, which would have probably shredded my poor Sentinels, okay? So at the end of the day, his Dwalin only did 30k damage instead of 100k plus. So if I assume that 70k more damage hit my Sentinels, this could have been a very different fight. All right. Ooh, my light's flickering. Yeah, so it is about 6 a.m. I'm just waiting for the continental breakfast to open up in a few minutes. I'm going to go down and grab some breakfast and head over to Austin, baby. All right, so for the actual build itself, guys, check this out. I'm maximizing the Gray Elf, 29 out of 29. Maximizing the Guide, 45% damage and for 2 rounds with no stun. I've got the Wise in here. My accessory isn't fully leveled up, so my focus is actually at 240. It'll be at 252 or something like that when my focus is leveled up. And I could also swap some of these points from Magical Barrier into the plus focus skill, but for right now, I think that we're pretty good. The problem is 15% reduced damage received. Another 14% reduced damage received, so 29% reduced damage received by my range units, 15% evasion, and then 21 plus 45% bonus damage, so 66% bonus damage for the first 2 rounds of the fight, and then just 21% bonus damage for the rest of the fight. All right, gear-wise, we got +3 attack on the bow, 9% damage. Chest-wise, we have a 5-star 0 refinement, Ranger Shroud for +3 damage, okay? Helmet, we have +3 damage and madness, all right? And then for the accessory, like I said, I need to level this up. I'll gain 10 more focus once I do. This is going to give my units blitz, which is going to allow them to attack for the start of the fight there, okay? So, a lot of interesting things here, guys. I just don't know. I would have to drop some points from the Wise and put them into my ability to attack with pursuit. There's just a lot of things about Celeborn that I feel he's a very, very strong commander. I think he's probably stronger than the Witch King with his March Wardens, but without the March Wardens, he doesn't really have the damage output to compete with these other units. Okay, so we have the Battle Axe here on Dwalin, right? Blue chest, helmet, fiddle with some speed on it. For the abilities, he's really maxed out his speed and defense as well as his heals. For his army, he's also mitigating the physical damage they receive. And he's not really dealing a whole lot of commander damage. So, not a great Dwalin build. I would expect to perform better against this Dwalin build. Let's take a look at the first 2 rounds, guys. This is going to really tell how we feel like the fight could have gone, okay? I'll take a look at round 3. All right. Where's round 1? Here we go. Yes. Here in round 1, the Sentinels attacked for 26k. The Bonites hit for 8,700. That puts us up at just under 35,000 damage output in round 1. My units now have Wild Yell going into round 2. So going into round 2, their damage should go up a little bit. So 35,000 damage. Here in round 2, I have plus 20% damage on both units. Instead of hitting the Axe Throwers, my Sentinels hit the Iron Warriors that have 140 plus defense. So I got 33,000 damage in round 2, 35,000 damage in round 1, just under 70,000 damage output in the first 2 rounds. Let's take a look at what round 3 looks like. Ooh, I got a double Wild Yell from round 3. This is due to my accessory causing the Great Beast to trigger with initiative right here, whereas my Bonite did not trigger initiative, so they actually got 2 stacks of that Wild Yell. I did not realize that's possible. I wonder if I could run... Oh, it's just each round. I was going to say, I wonder if you run Convener if this stacks twice, but it's just each round, not every attack. Okay, that's good to know. Learn something new every day, baby. So 70,000 damage output in the first 2 rounds. Here in round 3, we have a double stack of damage, so it's a little bit skewed. But, and then my Sentinels didn't take a whole lot of damage because they died. Let's drop to round 4. Round 4 should be a little more accurate, okay? Here in round 4, folks, the Sentinels hit the Iron Warriors for 14,000 damage. That's a big difference from the 22,000 damage against the Guardians previously, okay? Big drop-off in damage. The Bonites attack for 8,500. So altogether, we're at, we're definitely on the low end here. We've got about 23,000 damage output here compared to the 35,000 damage output in round 1. Okay, so it's not. Look, it's not terrible, right? It's not actually that bad. But the problem is, I needed maxed out gear to get to this point. So if you're running with just 2 or 3 star gear and you have like +4 attack, which is pretty average, like my free-to-play account has +5 attack on its ranged, okay? You're going to be losing 11% damage output compared to my build. All right. You're also not going to have as many points as I am, so you're not going to be able to maximize the Ys. You're going to be lacking points since my guys are 10. If you're running, let's just say, a Respect 5 Celeborn as a free-to-play, and you've got +5 attack, you've got, 5 less skill points, you could be in a position where you may be getting beat by this Dwalin. So, to recap, ladies and gents, I really like Celeborn. I think he's really, really interesting. I think he's probably one of the strongest commanders in the game, hands down, if you're running March Wardens. But without March Wardens, he is not really competitive with some of the other commanders, okay? So if you're running Lothlorien, get Celeborn. He is the best in slot. He will dominate the battlefield. His damage is unstoppable. You can't stun, you can't madden, you can't avoid. He's got the ability to strike first with initiative. So he'll be hitting you for, his March Wardens could be hitting you for anywhere from 40 to 45,000 damage each hit in rounds 1 and 2. Enormous damage, all right? So, all right. If you guys like this video, go ahead and join the Forge Discord in the description below. I love you all a long time. Randy out.